Hey guys, I want to introduce to you our new writing unit. This is going to be exciting because so far all we have done is we have learned a lot of comprehension skills and strategies to use with our reading, but now you are going to learn to be good writers so that other people can read products that you create. This little slide is just an encouragement to you, and it says, "To live a creative life, we must lose our fear of being wrong," by Joseph Pearce. Good writing is supposed to evoke sensation in the reader, not the fact that it's raining, but the feeling of being rained upon. And all you have to do is write one true sentence. Write the truest sentence that you know. Ernest Hemingway. So let me introduce to you what you're going to be doing. So you have like an overview. You won't get a lot of videos throughout this unit. This video that I'm doing right now is going to pretty much introduce to you everything that you need to know about the writing unit. And then you'll have notebook entries that you'll do each day, but instead of calling them reading notebook, it'll be called writing notebook. And you will create a new folder for all of your writing entries. So what is Writer's Workshop? Have you ever wondered why you can't find a book that you're interested in? Well, that's because someone may not have written it yet. Writer's Workshop is the way we will learn to incorporate our reading skills into writing our own stories. Just like in our independent reading workshop, you're going to learn new strategies every few days and then practice them on your own. Writer's Workshop will allow you to engage. You'll engage in different types of writing techniques. A quote for this slide says, "I write to give myself strength. I write to be the characters that I'm not. I write to explore all the things that I'm afraid of." So your role will be to listen and participate in lessons and think about how to utilize the strategy taught while writing. You're going to create a writer's notebook. If you want to get your very own new notebook, you can, or you can use the reading notebook that you've been using, your reading composition notebook. If you get a new writer's notebook, a lot of people like to decorate the outside of it to make it real special, to make it seem more like a journal. I encourage you to do so. You'll also have your online notebook, and if you do a hard copy, you'll be taking pictures of it and uploading it to the online notebook as well. So the mini lessons you'll listen and participate in and think about how to use the strategy. For the writing part of it, you'll have your writer's notebook. You'll write silently without disturbing others, and you'll use the strategies that are taught. You'll keep yourself organized, and you'll take care of any classroom materials that you use. We may confer with each other about different aspects of writing. You can identify when you need a conference, or I may come to you and say, let's talk about these strategies to make your writing, take it to a deeper level. And then sharing. You'll be sharing some of the things that you write down, and then some will be personal, and you will only share that with me. My role is to teach many lessons on management, author's craft, and effective writing strategies using personal examples. I'll invite you to apply what you've learned during the mini lessons to your independent writing. I will assist you as we go through the writing process and monitor how well you use the strategies that are being taught, and I will provide any materials that you need to help you stay organized. I will engage students in conversations about your writing and sample students' writing notebooks and coach students on writing strategies. And then I'll invite students to share. I'll reinforce concepts that are taught during mini lessons and assist students to evaluate yourselves as writers. So, what should a good writer's workshop look like and sound like? During Writer's Workshop, we need to develop some habits and behaviors everyone will use in order to think and work like professional writers. Today, we're going to be talking about what a good writer's workshop looks like and sounds like. And your I can statement for today is that you can be an active participant in a writer's workshop. So here's a little example of what a notebook might look like if you decorate it. And this is giving you some ways that we live in our notebooks. You might want to write in pen, because visual mistakes are a good thing, and they help us show growth in our writing. You might want to personalize your cover page to make it specific and special just to you. Writing time is going to be quiet time. You'll be respectful of others as they write. And the Writer's Workshop section is for writing only. Do not use this notebook for math, science, or anything else. Never tear any pages out of your notebook. All writing and drafting is important to becoming great writers. If you mess up, mark it out, continue to write. Or if you want to start a new page, start a new page, but don't tear out your old page. And include the date and the title with every single notebook entry so you can look back on it and know when you wrote it and watch yourself as you grow as a writer. So what you're going to do in this unit, your end goal is to write a true story about an event that has happened in someone's life. So this is going to be a personal narrative. You're going to think of a person, a place, or a moment in your life, and you're going to write about it. You're going to do that by gathering lists to begin with. We're going to create a plan, and these lists that we do will help you determine which moment in time is going to be easiest for you to write about because you have the most ideas about it. You can elaborate on it the most. You're going to focus on one episode, and you're going to learn to elaborate with detail that episode. You're going to climb inside the moment, and you're going to write from the narrator's point of view, your point of view. You're going to make characters say words and use tones that show their personalities and hints of the bigger meaning of the moment. You're going to explain why the characters act like they do. Or you're going to create dialogue that allows us to get to know the character. You're going to zoom in on small but powerful details that capture big moments and feelings. You're going to craft a story lead, and you're going to be sure to end with a powerful ending, which leaves a message for your reader. I want you to include new scenes remembered from the past or imagined in the future that help show what your story is really about. You want to include descriptions and dialogue and inner thinking to convey meaning. To do all of this, we must plan carefully by creating lists that may be used to spark ideas or create connections to help us think through our most important life events, to help us create a piece of work that everyone would want to read. So some lists will include how we got our names, you might include a list of people who matter to you. Your list might even be like a family tree. And then you might even add to that list by talking about some memories that you have of that person in your family. It could be exciting memories or sad memories or just plain funny stories. You might create lists of life moments, like your best life events and your worst life events, or the first time you did something, or maybe the last time you did something. You may create an emotional list. When you look at your list, you might think of several times that you felt these emotions. All these things that I'm showing you are going to be assigned to you as notebook entries in the next couple weeks. And it will, as your notebook entry, you will create these lists. You're also going to look at the format of powerful personal narratives that have been written, and you're going to analyze the techniques to use as a model for your own writing. You're going to create story maps, and your story maps will be used for you to look back on and gather some ideas on what you want to do and what you want to write about. This is an example of a story map, and then you're going to write about maybe use that story map to help you create a draft. Here, once you've got all of your lists done, you are going to create a piece with a strong opening that captures a reader's attention, followed by exciting paragraphs that builds suspense and that leads to like a conflict with some resolution. You want to lead up to events before the conflict, and then you want to do the falling action after the resolution. We will elaborate on a moment in time and then end with a powerful ending that leaves your reader with a lesson learned. Along with creating these lists and analyzing mentor texts, we're also going to read a book called Warhorse. Warhorse is a personal narrative that is written from a horse's point of view. And it takes you through all the events that this horse experiences during a time of war. And we are going to analyze the strategies that the author used while writing the novel, and we'll look back, we'll track the motifs, and we'll try to come up with a theme and try to figure out, what was it that the author wanted us to learn by reading this. We'll look at the strategies that he used in writing, like the beginning, the middle, the end. Was there a strong opening? Was there a closing? And as we write, we plan out the story, and then we read back over it over and over again, and we edit and we add to, and that's what this screen is showing you. This is a revised version. So you will revise, you'll look back at what you start. You'll start writing your story, you'll look back at your list and create some type of plan that you feel like that you can write the most about according to the list that you've created. And then you will write about a certain moment, a certain time in your life that caused you to learn something that was important, that may have changed you, or it could have caused you to learn something about life in general or other people that was meaningful to you. And once you have written a rough draft, we'll go back and we'll revise it. Someone else will read it and edit it, help you to edit it, and I will help you to edit it. And we will take different sections of your story and try to write long about those sections. So we'll take it and unfold a seed moment and elaborate on certain things. Some strategies that you're going to use from the mentor text or see. You'll use powerful language that's going to evoke emotion and set a tone for your reader. You'll describe details. You will remain consistent throughout your paper, being in first person point of view. I'm going to teach you how to add some flashbacks in that will include some background information for your reader, using punctuation to enhance a scene maybe, and being creative with your vocabulary. So you'll be given a checklist, and this is the structure of what you might see in a fifth grade paper, and this is the structure of how we will grow your paper so that you can write more of a complex paper than last year, and you can see the growth between last year and now. So you'll take your best work, you'll make it better. You are going to write at least 5 paragraphs. You'll have an opening sentence, and each paragraph should have 5 to 7 supporting details and a closing. Your paper should have a strong opening and a powerful ending that leaves your reader feeling like they've learned a lesson. We will include a seed moment and elaborate on like a slow motion moment in time somewhere throughout the paper. Your punctuation, your capitalization will be looked at to make sure that it doesn't slow your reader down. You're going to use some strong verbs, adjectives, transitions between paragraphs. And then you're going to be sure to read your paper over and over just to make sure that it makes sense before you turn it in, because this paper is actually going to be your test grade throughout the unit. And we will continue to practice our comprehension strategies using Warhorse. And at home, you're going to have to be reading some chapters of Warhorse at home as well. And I've included in the module a YouTube video of each chapter being read aloud to you. And there's also a PDF of the book so that you can have that to follow along while you're being read to. But since we only come to school a couple days a week, it would take us forever to get through this book if you're not reading at home. So you may be reading a chapter a day in addition to doing a notebook entry. So there might be just a tad bit more work involved in this unit. It just depends on what you put into it. And just keep in mind that these things that I'm showing you that you're going to include, you will have a checklist of those. And as you work through your paper and as you develop ideas that you can write long about, and you create your masterpiece, you will be coached along the way of things that need to be included. And I will help you with editing, and so will your peers. And I'm excited for this unit because it takes into account all of the comprehension strategies that we've taught you, and it shows you how to be a good writer so that you can write a piece that's noteworthy that people will want to read. So this is going to be a fun unit. It's not a very long unit. We should create this masterpiece in 3 to 4 weeks, hopefully, and then we'll be moving on to our next unit. So looking forward to teaching you how to become better writers and deeper thinkers.